Hey guys, Naz here with another build. In this build, I'll be going over my 100% critical hit build for Incursor. This is a late and endgame build for anyone who didn't fully read the title, so you have been warned for spoilers. Okay, with that out the way, let's get into this, yeah? Before I go over the arts, I believe it's best we discuss the base skills, and this will give us a better understanding of how I got to this build. Adroit Blade increases our damage by 8% per critical hit, meaning we'll need 19 critical hits to get the full value from this skill. Floating Kill will double our critical hit rate if we're attacking a launched enemy. Vigilance is nice as it gives our auto attacks a 100% critical hit chance at the start of battle, but this is useless during a chain attack. And lastly, Eye for weak points. This increases our critical hit by 2% for each hit, meaning we'll need 50 hits to get the full value out of the skill. Now that we have a better perspective of where we're coming from, let's go over the arts and why they may look a bit weird to you. We'll be using Aerial Slash as this gives us iframes during the animation and it has a high critical hit chance. Sidewinder doubles our critical hit chance when we attack from the back, and Mystic Vision is used as it increases our critical hit chance and damage multiplier by 25. The other arts aren't used because I found them too low on damage, and we shouldn't be relying on us to break the enemy. The master arts are Hidden Torn, as this is our highest potency physical skill we can use, which has a bleed attached to it. The damage from the bleed is based on the value of our attack dealt. It'll take 3% of that and continue to tick as long as it's on the foe. Since this build will be hitting damage cap of 10 million, this will be ticking for 300k every time. Soaring Tempest and Gale Slash are here because together they hit 11 times, which helps us work towards that 50 hit count I mentioned earlier. We want this build to be online as soon as possible, and I found these two arts to be the best at that. Okay, now let's go back to the skills. You'll want the blades that the skills are coming from to be level 20 for their full potential. Critical Strike from Flash Fencer. We're going to be having a 100% critical hit chance, so we may as well be doing 50% more damage. Universal Annihilation from Seraph. Our Floating Kill skill doubles our crit chance, so we may as well be doing 150% more damage while they're launched. Our last slot goes to Ultimate Qigong, as this pierces the enemy's defense, or so I thought until someone commented on a video yesterday. While I was already using this ability, I was unaware of the true mechanics behind this passive. Not only does it reduce the enemy's defense, but if the enemy has low defense, then they'll go in the negative numbers. This is insult to injury, and you have to run this on all your physical attackers. No other passive is worth it at this point because we have the highest additional attack from Seraph, and we have two separate multipliers with our critical hit damage and our pierce. Next we'll go over our gems. Sadly, there's only two gems that work during chain attacks, and that's going to be Steel Cleaver, which gives us strength. This is our base, so we may as well have it as high as possible so we could hit the damage cap. Analyze Weakness is another 70% on our critical damage multiplier. Lastly, we'll go with Disperse Bloodlust because we don't want to rip aggro from our tanks and die, as we have a bit of ramping to do before the chain attack, and dying will just set us back. Now that our gems are set, let's go over our accessories. Saturni Rings are the highest attack percentage increase we can get. Like mentioned before, we'll be launching the enemy, so why not do 110% more damage to them? Lunae Rings are used here as this is the highest additional I could have found, and all our attacks during chain attacks are fusion arts, so we'll have this active the whole time. I don't believe there are any other multipliers left in the game as of making this video, so these are the best we can do until future DLC. Okay, now that we're fully set, you'll want Gondor as your hero. The reason we're using her is because of her order. She'll increase the critical hit damage multiplier by 150%. Here's the full team comp if anyone wants to copy it. Signifer is mandatory as it can easily pass Power Charge to the team. Power Charge doubles our damage. Medic Gunner's Power Ring is a separate damage buff from the buff that Signifer and Power Charge gives. I love mid-maxing builds, and I'm always trying to tweak it, but after 4 days of testing, I do believe this is the best I could have came up with. When we get into battle, you'll want to start off as the tank and establish aggro and hold it for a bit. That's because if we go balls to the wall with our Incursor, we'll rip aggro and die right away. Sadly, you can't just play Incursor the whole time because the AI just can't keep up with the damage I have given you here. What was that thing that Peter's dad said to him?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh yeah, that. Okay, once the enemy's broken and toppled, you'll want to gather your party as you're launching the enemy. This will buy us time, so everyone groups up so powering gets the most value. I'll do a demo here on the chain attack as it is the harder part to pilot. We're looking for Gondor, Tyon, Noah, and Uni in that order for maximum damage. Unfortunately, we have to pick Noah here because if we pick Uni, then we can't pick Tyon until the end, and we want that defense reduction earlier. We attack with Noah here to get the first blood bonus and try to get his TP as high as we can. I used lands here to pass power charge and the attack buff from Shadow Eye to everyone while building up TP as close to 99 as I can. Gondor's used here at the end because she's guaranteed to bring herself back, and since we'll be hitting 150%, that means we get Noah and lands back as well. The whole point with this build is to guarantee we get to use Noah every single round as he's our highest damage dealer. Okay, you see a Gondor, you pick Gondor. Unfortunately, if we go with Noah here first, we'll be getting over 80 TP, and we'll be hitting past 100, and we don't want to do that. We're trying to min-max damage here. So, we're going to be picking Gondor, then our healer, and then Noah. If you continue with this cycle, you should easily hit 150% or higher, which guarantees everyone comes back every round. Thankfully, we get Tyon here and not at the very end. This looks like a Gondor healer Noah round. This may seem wasteful to you guys as we're not using everyone in the party, but if we use more people, we're just diluting the pool, and like I said before, we want to get Noah every single round, and this is just the safest option we can do. Since Tyon didn't get to use his power charge, his order should be doing more damage here. Since this is the last round, we can now use all our attackers to get the most damage possible because Ouroboros is next and we're guaranteed to get Noah back. Did Uni just casually hit a 4 mil there? And a nice easy 14 mil. And here's the damage cap I promised you guys. Oh, before I forget, we're using Tyon and Uni's Ouroboros because they have a passive that increases their damage up to 500% for every buff we have. No other Ouroboros can touch them, plus their order is really good as it pierces the enemy's defense, and it could put them into the negatives. If there's any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. And don't forget, if this video brought value to you, please leave a like and consider subscribing to see more as I play a wide array of RPG games and I break them down just like this. Until the next video, I'll see ya.